Just while we've been sitting in this committee room having this hearing today about left-wing extremism and violence, literally, as we were being gavelled in, we experienced some left-wing extremism of our own on the second floor of this building while we've been in here. The Center for Popular Democracy invaded our office building this afternoon to push their extreme agenda on everything from climate to the debt ceiling. Approximately a dozen were arrested while we were sitting in this hearing room. Thankfully, my staff brought over pictures to share with you all. This happened right here in the rotunda of the Cannon building while we were sitting here in this hearing, having this hearing on left-wing extremism. I mean, you kind of can't even make this up. But George Soros funded it. It's the Open Society that funds this group. Here they are being arrested by Capitol Police. We really appreciate their work. Here they are being loaded into the vans, thankfully. And here's some of their signs that they left here in the Cannon building. I don't know if we call that an insurrection, left-wing extremism, violence. I'm not sure what we call it.
This situation would be sad if it wasn't so farcical. But let's be real about the situation. This is the second or third time during a hearing that we've seen things happen that could not be written better in a movie script than what's going on outside in the real world and outside the halls of Congress, or actually sometimes even in the halls of Congress. Let's start with what happened in a lot of the protests in Montana and Tennessee recently. In Tennessee, two members of the House were expelled while 3 were voted on expulsion, and 1 survived the expulsion vote. Here's the thing. They allowed themselves to disrupt disorderly hearings of Congress. Now, additionally, in Montana, a member of the state house over there also let far-left members onto the House floor and led them in chants. Now we have the fact that during a hearing about DC safety a few months ago, there was a literal carjacking going on as DC crime continues to increase and get worse, as the member of City Council, Charles Allen, who is the reason I moved out of DC personally because of his bill that's soft on crime, literally had a carjacking while he's saying DC was safe and blaming it on TikTok as a car was carjacked outside of my own apartment building where I used to live and have moved from in the past couple months. So this seems to be a very funny thing that keeps happening here when we talk about violence on the left and violence on the right. But it seems like to me that the sit-ins and the things that are going on recently in Congress have all been done by left-wing perpetrators, whether it be through, as Marjorie Taylor Greene says, the Open Society, which is famously funded by George Soros, or other left-wing factions included. I mean, I remember the riots that went on in downtown during George Floyd, during the inauguration, some of which I covered, some of which I was downtown taking pictures for. I've seen this firsthand. There's always some sort of left-wing group being bussed in here at DC, and all we hear about is right-wing extremism. At this point, we need to sit down in society on both sides, because yes, there is right-wing extremism, but we need to sit down on both sides and calm down. Stop bussing people into DC, stop disrupting hearings, stop trying to invade state houses, and really focus on the actual issues. I mean, you can't write a movie script better, as I said earlier. This is literally going on as this hearing is going on. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has an absolute 100% right to call it out for what it is.